Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to dig into a really simple idea that honestly could completely change how you approach, well, everything. And here's the twist. It's not about adding some new habit or learning a new skill. Nope. It's all about the quiet, surprising power of taking things away. So let's just start with a question that, kind of runs our lives in the background. Whether it's our jobs or our social media feeds, we seem totally hardwired to believe that the path to a better life is just paved with more. But hang on a second. Is that actually true? And this leads us right into a cultural trap that, let's be real, most of us fall into without even noticing it. It's this addiction to more, this invisible script that's running our lives. I mean, think about it. Ever since we were kids, we're basically taught that success means piling stuff up. More achievements, more money, more possessions. It just becomes our default setting for what progress is supposed to look like. You see it all the time in our digital lives, right? We're always craving more notifications, more likes, more emails. Every little ping is a tiny, fleeting hit of validation that makes us feel connected and important, even while it's completely shattering our focus. And oh, we definitely see it at work. We jam-pack our calendars with more meetings, we say yes to more projects, and we keep adding more and more tasks to our to-do lists. We're operating under this illusion that just being busy is the same thing as being productive. And of course, you see it in our homes. We'd buy more gadgets, more clothes, more stuff that we convince ourselves we need. We're always hoping that the very next purchase will be the one that finally delivers that lasting feeling of fulfillment. So what happens when we keep adding and adding? What's the end result? Well, for a whopping 80% of us, the outcome isn't happiness. Not even close. It's overwhelm. It's that feeling of just being buried under the weight of our own clutter, both the junk in our closets and the clutter in our heads. This nonstop chase for more creates this really frustrating paradox. We're busy and more stretched out than we've ever been, but are we actually getting any closer to the things that we really care about? Or are we just running faster and faster on a treadmill that's going absolutely nowhere? Okay, so if more is the problem, what's the alternative? Well, it's a powerful, almost revolutionary idea. What if the real secret to getting more out of life isn't about adding, but about subtracting? Now, let's be super clear about what this means. Subtraction is not about depriving yourself. Not at all. It's the intentional, disciplined art of removing the non-essential stuff so you can finally make room for what gives you real purpose and joy. And this slide really shows the difference, doesn't it? The addition mindset is totally reactive. It just piles on clutter and stress. But the subtraction mindset, that's proactive. It's about deliberately creating clarity, focus, and freedom. You're shifting from asking, how can I possibly fit more in, to what can I take away to make more space? This isn't some new age idea. 2,000 years ago, the Stoic philosopher Seneca totally got it. He knew that feeling like you have enough is an internal state of mind, not something you measure by how much stuff you own. It's the craving for more that's the real source of our poverty. So, this all sounds great in theory, right? But how do we actually do it? How do we take this idea of subtraction from just a nice concept and turn it into a practical, everyday strategy? Well, the good news is you don't have to completely overhaul your life overnight. You can start small, like right now, in these 3 key areas. Each one is a really powerful starting point for a less cluttered life. And just look how simple this can be. In your physical space, it's those clothes you haven't worn in a year. Digitally, it's all those apps on your phone you never even open. In your commitments, it's that weekly meeting that could have just been an email. Seriously, removing just one of these creates immediate breathing room. And when you start doing this, it's not just about having a tidier desk. It leads to these profound, life-changing benefits that just ripple out through every single part of your life. This probably looks pretty familiar to a lot of us. Before subtraction, our limited mental energy is almost completely eaten up by stress and distractions, leaving just this tiny, pathetic little sliver for actual focus. But look at this transformation. After you start subtracting, that same precious energy gets reclaimed. It's freed up so you can actually invest it in what matters. The noise just fades away, and the signal, your clarity, your purpose, your focus, It becomes loud and clear. And these aren't just little tweaks. These are fundamental shifts in your life. You get more time for that deep, focused work. You feel less anxious. Your relationships actually get deeper because you have more energy to give them. Every small thing you remove creates this amazing cascade of positive change. So all of this brings us to the most important question of all. How do you take this insight and actually turn it into action in your own life? I want you to think about this for a second. We're constantly being sold life hacks to manage our overflowing plates. But maybe, just maybe, we're trying to solve the wrong problem. What if the real goal isn't to get better at managing more, but simply to have less on the plate to begin with? So I'll leave you with this final thought. Subtraction doesn't start with some grand 5-year plan to declutter your entire life. No way. It starts with a single deliberate choice. So what is the one app, the one meeting, the one object you will remove today to make just a little more room for what truly matters?